Hi folks, and welcome to the Fat File. I'm Gary Hennessy and I'm here again with Tracy James from Nourish Health Consulting. Now Tracy, during the week someone said to me, when you eat your chicken, make sure you take the skin off it. And I sent you a text which said, Tracy, does fat make you fat? What was your response to that?
No, fat does not make you fat.
Fat doesn't make you fat. Okay, well that's a bit of a tricky one. So how does that work? I mean, if fat doesn't make me fat, so does that mean I can eat any fat I like?
No, there's different fats, Gary. There's saturated fats,
Right.
Monosaturated and polyunsaturated.
Okay, so so I'm assuming somewhere in there's some good fats and there's some bad fats then, are we? Are we talking about fats that are good for you and fats that are not so good for you? So because we like to be positive first of all, over on this side here, I'm assuming then the chicken fat is okay for me?
Yeah, it's a saturated fat.
Right, so saturated is good?
Saturated fats are good for us.
And we've seen that on the TV, polyunsaturated.
Polyunsaturated oils are not so good for us, like polyunsaturated margarines, the vegetable oils,
such as
corn oil, soy oil, canola.
Okay, so all right, let's go back over to the good side because we like to be on the good side. So fats are on meat. Do we cut all the fat off the meat?
No, leave the fat on the meat.
Leave the fat on the meat. So
so
that's good for us because why is that good for us?
It's good for us in that these saturated fats are good for the body, the cells.
Yeah. Okay. So it helps. It's actually a positive thing to put into our body.
And it helps us feel full.
Right. Okay.
And less tendency to overeat.
You're not then forever feeling hungry. Like I think I said on a previous video where I'd eat and then I'd feel like I needed to eat some more and eat some more. But since we've had a diet change, I know for a fact that I've actually felt a lot less hungry during the daytime. So that's because we've got some good fats over here with the protein. Now good fats are what? Meat fats?
Meat fats, coconut oil is a great fat. Butter.
Butter, okay.
And
so
lard and duck fat.
Right, okay. Good for everyone but the ducks, obviously. Now, so butter versus margarine. Big discussion. What are we looking at? Better to do butter or better to do margarine?
I would throw the margarine in the bin.
Right.
It's a highly processed fat, and in the processing leads to lots of really chemicals that are actually damaging to the body. Okay.
So you were saying earlier we were talking about, because I said to you I cook with olive oil, and you said a lot better to use, I think, coconut oil, because when you heat an oil like the olive oil, it breaks down and then that actually creates compounds that are harmful to our body.
Yes.
But if you I think you said also the same with butter, isn't it? Like you shouldn't really cook with frying butter because that'll break down, and it's probably better than the olive oil, but it's not really designed. Whereas the coconut oil is better for your cooking.
I think it's the best oil for cooking, and it's the most stable at any temperature, so it's not going to break down and produce chemicals and products that are going to be harmful to our bodies.
Awesome. So we've got good fats over here. We're talking meats. We're talking
butter.
We're talking
olive oil
and
lard.
Coconut oil and the lard. Over here we've got the bad fats, which is like the olive oils, the canolas, the corn.
Oh, you said olive. Olive oil's fine.
Olive oil's okay, but don't cook with it.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, but we said corn oil, canola oil, margarine, so we want to avoid those things.
We want to avoid the vegetable oils, and particularly because they're highly processed as well.
Okay, all right. That's it for this week. Now, you may have a few specific questions you'd like to ask Tracy or myself about what we talked about today. What we'd love you to do, if you have a question, put it on Facebook and we'll address it with Tracy next week when we get together, and we'll try and answer all of those questions. Obviously, we're doing this for a cause. We're actually doing this whole process to help raise funds for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And up there somewhere on the page, There's now this beautiful little donate button with the breast cancer logo on it. We'd love you if you've got $1, whatever, anything, we'd really appreciate it. So if you can support this, we'd really appreciate it. That's it for this week. I'm Gary Hennessy. This is The Fat File, and we'll catch you again next week.